Hello and welcome to the Benzie County EMS training on our transfer authorization form. This form you'll see as displayed was recently changed to green to help identify it with the transfer packets from going out of Paul Oliver Memorial Hospital ER. On the top few lines, you will know that the patient, date of birth, and date of service, as well as the destination, is required. The patient's name, date of birth, and service date can be accomplished with a Paul Oliver Memorial Hospital ER sticker. The destination should be filled out, as well as the destination determination, whether it's from the referring physician or mid-level in the ER, whether this is family or patient request, other or hospice, which will help determine the actual payer when it goes to our billing company. If the patient has requested basically a transfer for convenience, not on medical necessity, just because they want to go to one facility versus another, that will dictate who actually is billed for the run, because most insurance, as well as Medicare, Medicare or Medicaid, will not pay for a ride to a different hospital just because you want to be there if the hospital you're at offers the services that you need. The second area, highlighted with the blue arrow, is a quick synopsis of the medical necessity from the physician or mid-level. This can be an example of something as simple as exacerbation of COPD or CHF or STEMI, just something along those lines, quick and down and dirty. The next section, if this is an emergent transfer, it must meet one of these three qualifications. One of the three, A, B, or C, should be circled. If not, this would not meet emergent transfer qualifications, and it would be a non-emergent transfer. So for non-emergents, do not need to be circled. This section here starts out with explaining your medical necessity from the provider, as well as orders from the provider, whether transportation by other means would endanger the patient's health, requires close observation, starts painting the picture for medical necessity for the billing company, as well as the insurer or Medicare or Medicaid. Below that, you'll see things like require specialized treatment, cardiac monitoring, IV meds, etc., which are orders for the provider, which will dictate whether this is ALS or BLS, but also painting that picture that I explained for the Medicare, Medicaid insurance provider to justify the billing. Any further orders can be shown below here. Anything special orders may be a special med or a circumstance where the physician or mid-level would like you to give A in case of B. So if they had a certain circumstance occur, they would like you to give this med, which they may send with you. The next section you're going to see goes in line with the Medicare requirements for ambulance billing. It's 42 CFR 410.40, which I've printed off and you'll see on the corkboard at Station 2, and you're also welcome to have a copy anytime if you'd like. So what this is it shows necessity when medical necessity alone is not proven. For example, a person who is not ambulatory, which most of these three sections would need to be filled out, would qualify for that reason because we do not have wheelchair services in our area. So an ALS or BLS ambulance can be utilized, but it must meet one of these three certifications and must be checked on the boxes to allow us to bill for those services. So the medical necessity, a general rule, now this may take a second, and I'm going to read this verbatim, but Medicare covers ambulance services, included fixed wing and rotary wing ambulance services, only if they are furnished with a beneficiary, this is the patient, whose medical condition is such that other means of transportation are contraindicated. The beneficiary's condition must require both the ambulance transport itself and the level of service provided in order to be billed to the service for the billed service to be considered medically necessary. Non-emergency transportation by ambulance is appropriate if either the beneficiary is bed confined and it is documented that the beneficiary's condition is such that other methods of transportation are contraindicated. So maybe a patient going to a nursing home who had a previously broken hip, maybe BLS, or if his or her medical condition, regardless of bed confinement, is such that transportation by ambulance is medically required. So this is that exacerbation of COPD patient, the STEMI patient, a trauma patient. So going just on those alone, we need to have either medical necessity proven up here or a reason that the patient cannot ambulate or is unable to transport by other means here. The last section you're going to note is just the provider's name and signature. Just make sure that they have printed their name as well as signed here, as well as and the date. So once all of that is filled out, this is now a legit ambulance transfer authorization form, and we can take that transfer wherever the destination may be. Thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me.